Hey traders, today is a special day. You know why? Because for once on this channel, I'm gonna be talking about profits, not losses. Yep, you heard that right. I'm finally in the green and I'm sure that my great-great-grandparents are smiling down on me right now. So what went right this time? Let's break it down. First thing first, after 3 consecutive days of losses, I downsized my position. And this is something that feels completely unnatural, right? Like, when you're losing money, the instinct is to double down and make it all back. But this time, I fought this urge. Downsizing wasn't easy, but it was the right move. And now you could look back and think, hey, you made a profit, wouldn't a larger position be better? Sure, but my focus wasn't on P&L, it was on making the right decisions, no matter the outcome. And from that perspective, I'm proud of how I handled it. When it comes to the entry, it was pretty spot on. I saw a strong level forming and entered long in a bullish market. That makes sense, right? To me, it just looked like the end of the correction and I anticipated the trend to continue. And that's what happened. Here's where I made another key adjustment. As I mentioned, I downsized and actually calculated the size of my position before entering it. In the past, I would jump in and figure out the stop loss later. And trust me, that's not the way to go. This time, I had my risk level clearly defined before pulling the trigger. So yeah, risk management first. I've been laser focused on that recently. Before you even think about the potential profits, you have to be comfortable with how much you are willing to lose. So I picked my stop loss level, calculated the position size to limit my risk to 0.5%, and I was ready to go. By the way, I'm planning to slowly increase risk to 2% as I build on profits. And yeah, I do understand that I'm talking about $200 profit on 10K account that is not even real. What I meant is that it's still a challenge account and I don't get any profits from there yet. But still, the basics are the same. Whether you trade 10K, 100K or 1 million, you always have to think about risk first, right? I'll admit that this one is a little controversial. I added to the position when things weren't 100% certain, but on the other hand, it's a market and it's never the case, right? But here's the thing, I just felt that it was the right decision. More importantly, I calculated my risk before, as I already mentioned, and I knew that I was still within my risk tolerance. So, no reckless moves here, just a calculated bet that did pay off. Now, here's something that gave me extra confidence to hold on to this trade longer. The higher than expected CPI, or Consumer Price Index report, which is basically the inflation report. When the CPI came in hotter than expected, it confirmed my decision to stay long on gold. Why? Because inflation concerns tend to drive safe haven assets like gold higher. And with inflation heating up, it made the perfect sense for me to hold on. This kind of macroeconomic factor isn't something that you can ignore as a trader, and it really added weight to my technical analysis. Now, this part is kind of funny. I was planning to hold this trade a little bit longer, but it was Friday evening and I already had some plans. So I decided to take profit early to enjoy the weekend with a clear mind and a good mood. And you know what? It was pretty close to the local high, so no regrets there. As traders, we all know that we cannot always nail the top or bottom, so I'm happy with how this one closed out. So to sum it up, this whole trade was a win for me. Not because of the profits, which are not even real yet, it's still a part of a challenge, but because of the decisions behind that. Managing risk, focusing on good entries, paying attention to macroeconomic data, and not letting emotions dictate the trade. Those are the real victories that will help me in the future when I hopefully pass this challenge and get the funded account from FTMO. Hey guys, so I decided to do one thing that I should have done earlier. I decided to downsize. There was one guy in the comments who told me, like, Artem, it seems that you take this challenge as a sprint, not a marathon. And I totally agree with him. I did take it as a sprint. And that's the problem actually, that I do agree with most of the people in the comments when they say that I have done something wrong, I could do better. And I understand it myself when I enter the trade that I shouldn't have entered, when I don't cut the losses when I should have done it. I know that I should do this, all of these things, but I have problems with that, with actually doing this. Now I feel like I'm a participant of Anonymous Alcoholic Club, where I just acknowledge that yes, I do have these problems, and in theory it should be like a first step in solving these problems. So I decided to take this actual step and downsize before I get back on track, let's say. So now my risk is only $40 and the potential profit is 61. So maybe about the reasoning why I entered this trade. Yeah, actually, almost at the same moment when I entered it, it started breaking this level. But anyways, maybe it will not actually. Anyways, the reasoning behind this is again pretty simple. There was an uptrend on gold for like quite a while, as you see. It started, when did it start? It started in October 2023, so a year. I would say that, yeah, sorry, I was interrupted. Yeah, so basically for me, it looks like a correction of a strong downtrend, of a strong uptrend. And I would say I could even move this take profit higher right here. And yeah, actually I've noticed how much more difficult it is to explain your trades when you're doing it on camera. I feel some kind of pressure, even though I'm trying not to pay attention to it. So yeah, enough of psychology. Yeah, I placed my stop loss at the level of 25.98. So yeah, for me, it's kind of obvious trade. Of course, it might continue its downtrend. I mean, not downtrend, but correction lower. But I don't think it will be the beginning of a downtrend, because even though the whole economy is getting better, I still think it will not lead to the drop of price of gold. But as I like to say, we will see. So guys, I'm still holding the position, and surprise, surprise, the chart behaves the way I expected the moment I decided to downsize. Some magic, huh? So yeah, as I expected, it seems to be the end of the correction. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe tomorrow we will see another down move. But for now, it seems that we might, the chart might continue its uptrend. As you see, there was a pretty big green candle today. It was the reaction of the market on the CPI report, so basically inflation. It was higher than expected, so the trend continued. And yeah, basically it's bad for stocks. So usually, ceteris paribus, what's bad for stocks is good for gold. Not always, of course, but generally. So yeah, I think tomorrow we may test these levels. Basically, I don't know why I chose this level as a potential take profit. We could, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really make sense right now, because it should have been whether like this, so this level basically, or I should have moved it even higher to these levels. Sorry guys, I received a message on my Telegram and I had to close it on the computer. So I think it would make sense to move it even higher, at least a part of the position, or alternatively I could close it tomorrow before the market close, because it's
quite costly to hold gold, to hold long on gold, because it's quite costly to hold long on gold. These overnight swaps are quite expensive comparing to my position. So yeah, most probably I will close it tomorrow. So I will just wait until maybe I will put my first stop loss higher. So yeah, now I'm reducing my risk. Risk management is the main pillar of trading, right? So yeah, basically now I protected myself. My overall risk is like $25 right now, minus 15, 26. It will be 24 even. So yeah, now I hope this night I will sleep well. Yeah, as you see, I downsized, as I said. Now, of course, I see kind of bad that I downsized, because if I were to enter my usual position, I would be like 4 times more in profit. So it would be like $360 instead of 93, and I would be almost in break even. But again, it's not a marathon. I mean, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So yeah, let's just wait and see what's gonna happen next.
So guys, if you are interested in how this challenge will continue for me, subscribe to this channel and join my Telegram group in the description below. Also, I really appreciate the feedback that you give me in the comments, so if you have something to share with me or with others, please do so. This way you're contributing to this small trading world and you can make it a little bit better. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.